Hello, it's Veronica with the Crafty Oasis. Today I wanted to show you how I make a brand swatch in Canva. What is a brand swatch, you might be wondering? So it's similar to how when you go into a paint store or the paint section, you get those color swatches, the paint samples. So this is for your brand, and it's a way to have it in tangible form so that you can access it or your team can access it, so you have consistent colors and fonts across the board. So on mine, you'll see that I've gathered my primary as well as the colors that are secondary to my design. It may not be very easy to see on camera, but for my logo, there's a palette. And so I've captured all these light colors going around the palette as well. So that's why mine is kind of a rainbow. And then if you'll notice in the back, we also have fonts. So I have the fonts for like the heading, I have the titles, and then the text, the body of the text. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And if you end up making a brand swatch, let me know how it goes, and I'd love to see pictures or video of it on Pinterest at Crafty Oasis Design. Thank you. Once we're in Canva, create a new design sized US letter or 8.5 by 11, and then go into Elements and grab a square. From there, add an outline, and I change the outline thickness from 4 to 2. Then I remove the color fill, and now we're stretching the square into a rectangle. So once we have it to the size that we like, we duplicate across, so there's 3 across the page. Next, we're adding our logo. I have Canva Pro, so background removal is included in the subscription. However, if you have the free version, it is not included in yours. So if you need to remove the background, you'll have to do that before you upload the image into Canva. Next, I'm adding the title, brand swatch, because I print this out and laminate it, as you have seen, so that it's easily accessible and I don't have to dig through files to find the colors and the fonts and everything. So the next one that we'll do is one of the particular colors of my brand. And we're just making a couple minor adjustments. And I'm going into the colors to select it. I know the hex codes because I have figured those out with my design. But if you don't know the hex codes, you can always do, when you open up the new color, you can always go to the color picker and go to your logo. And then once you have that color, it'll tell you the hex code and you can just type it in from there. So I repeat this process for all the colors in my design. And I just put each unique hex code at the bottom of the corresponding color. And that's why I call it a brand swatch, because it's similar to when you go to get paint swatches at the store, except it's your brand colors. And I like the rows of 3 across the page. When you print them out and laminate them, it's about the size of a deck of cards, maybe a little bit smaller, so they're not too big, but they're also not so small that they're hard to read. They fit in a pocket, in a purse, in a bag, backpack, so you can take them with you. They're very portable. I also punch a hole in them and put a binder ring that you can find at Dollar Tree or probably on Amazon or Walmart.com. I put the binder ring in there so that you can hang it up on a little hook or a peg, and it can always be out as well. So that's another way. Instead of carrying it around, if you work from the same space all the time, then you can have it right there visually in front of you and easy to access. So we're going through. My Crafty Oasis logo has a lot of colors because when I designed it, I have the palette that has pastel rainbow. So your logo may not have as many colors. It may only have 2 to 3 or 4. So this process is a little bit longer for me, but you'll just repeat it for however many colors you have. And see, I'm using the color picker right there. The color picker tool is the little eyedropper. When you select that and you move it around, then you're able to select that particular color. Okay, now that all of the brand colors have been added, what we're going to do is go to any of the rectangles and copy it, and then create a new page and paste that onto the new page so it's exactly the same size and you don't have to play with the shape or size on the new page. So we'll go ahead and duplicate that across 3 times. And what we're going to do next is add the font style. But before I do that, because this one is the purple, I have to remove the color fill and change the border and everything. So we're going to do the border size 2, removing the color fill, and now we're entering the font. So go to add a heading from text, and I'm putting logo font, and what is the actual font that I'm using for my logo, quiche bold, and that's card number 1 for the fonts. Now I duplicate the rectangle and the text box. Honestly, I could have grouped them together and done that, but you can do them separately as well. So once I have them duplicated, I go ahead and change it to titles and headings. And this is a different font, so I make sure to notate that. And I change the font, or I look at the font size to also include the font size for this particular font. And I do resize it so it fits better in the rectangle. Sometimes you have to play around with it to make it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And I decided to center that, a little off center actually. So I've duplicated that and I've included the size, which is 30. Now I'm doing the same process for the last text swatch for text body. And once I do that and have all my fonts and sizes, then I'm going to download that as a PDF print. You want it to be a PDF print because that's formatted the best for printing. And then on my printer, I always adjust the setting to highest quality, and then I put the type of paper. On these, I actually print them on cardstock. So I change my paper setting to photo matte because that's the closest I have to cardstock. And then I do the highest quality. And once you print those, if you laminate them, they are more durable. And then you can hole punch the upper left-hand corner and put a binder ring through, and you have your brand swatch. So if you try this with your brand, I'd love to see it. Please share your pictures on Pinterest at Crafty Oasis Designs. And thank you so much for watching. Take care.